I get the question all the time, what do you eat? What is your diet like? Do you eat carbs? Like, how do you stay shredded year round? So today I'm gonna be taking you guys through everything I do in terms of my diet, if I do fasting, all of that, in order to build lean muscle mass, what I do to stay lean, as well as if you guys haven't seen my videos in the past on how I healed my gut, I'm gonna link them below. But for the last 7 years, I dealt with severe digestive issues. I figured out that I had SIBO, and on those 3 videos that I have below, my part 1, 2, and 3, I discussed everything I went through, all the different types of diets I tried, what I was dealing with, but I had severe gas, severe bloating, and I was retaining around 30 pounds of fluid in my stomach. And gosh, go watch those videos, but this is gonna be a follow-up on it. So now that I got rid of all the SIBO, the parasites, the H. pylori, all of the bad, I wanted now to take you guys through my complete diet, different strategies that I implement, everything that I put in my body for, number 1, building lean muscle mass while remaining lean, fueling my body with tons of energy. Number 2, what I'm doing right now to continue to heal my gut, but also what I'm doing and implementing so that I don't relapse with the SIBO, all the parasites, all of that. And then I'm gonna be taking you guys through, just get ready. So before we get started, I'm Elizabeth with ElizabethAylorFitness. I have my 4-year degree in kinesiology, CSCS, holistic nutritionist. Subscribe below. I wanna help you guys achieve your highest potential with health. I'm obsessed with gut health, building your body, helping people build self-confidence, build their metabolism, eat more, and transform and feel their sexiest self. So let's get started today. We are gonna be talking about 3 ways that I stay lean year round, and we are gonna be starting off, so let's do that. The first thing that I do to remain lean year round is gonna start off with my diet. And I don't believe in, everyone should be keto low carb, or everyone should, do the intermittent fasting, or everyone should, do carnivore or fruitarian. And I've tried all of these guys, I have. What I believe in is balance. I believe that it is the person and the individual that it comes down to. For example, for me, I've done higher carb diets, I've done lower carb diets. Right now, I'm in the place of healing my gut lining. I'm in the place, go watch my journey if you haven't, my part 1 through 3 of everything I went through with my gut, and you'll understand so much more. But I went through parasites, cleansing, all of that. I was super, super high stress, breaking my body down. And I was fueling my body with the carbs, everything it needed, but it wasn't working right for me. So I found a good balance, and my balance is with something called the Mediterranean diet. And I don't just follow the Mediterranean diet, and I'm gonna kind of explain more about my diet. But what essentially a Mediterranean diet is, it's a diet high in wild-caught fish, poultry, healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, your healthy nuts and seeds, always sprouted, guys, whole grains. And there is dairy in it, but I don't consume dairy because I am truly allergic to it. But the whole point of the Mediterranean diet is you are getting a lot of wild-caught fish, healthy fats. You need healthy protein, healthy fats. That's gonna bring down your insulin. That is, if you went through any type of, breaking down your muscle fibers. So if you're trying to build lean muscle mass, having good, healthy protein, your omega-3 fats are found in your fishes. They're found in your flax oil, your hemp seed oil, your wild-caught salmon. And omega-3s help bring down inflammation in the body. There's so much with good heart health, Just there's so many benefits when it comes to getting a high omega-3 rich diet from healthy fats with hormone production, bringing down inflammation in your body, repairing tissues, ligaments if you've gone through like a breakdown or surgery or like trauma or any of that. And my diet right now, I do consume carbohydrates, but I don't consume them in mass amounts or super high amounts like I used to in the past. When I was bulking or when I was fruitarian, I've had times where I've been at 500 to 600 grams of carbs. And I was really, really focused on building my body, all of that. And now my focus is more on healing my gut while remaining lean and building lean muscle mass. So I've modified my carbohydrates in my diet to my training. So if I was, for instance, trying to like bulk and build a bunch of lean muscle mass, my calories would be a lot higher right now. I may have different ratios of carbs, fat, and protein, but right now I'm more in my repair and my recovery, and I already went through a fat loss phase, so I'm more at maintenance with my physique. So I optimize my macronutrients, and what I do is I follow a moderate protein diet, getting around 1 to 1.25 grams per pound of body weight of protein for me, because I train really hard. I train like 1 to 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. My fats are a little bit higher up. My body runs better on fats, I have found, and I'm doing more, like, I'm gonna take you guys through my protein, my fats, and my carb sources, but I'm doing more like olive oils and more higher omega-3 rich fats in my diet for my hormones, for the anti-inflammatory, to help with like the healing of the gut. Other protein sources that I'm doing in my diet are coming from like bone broth, collagen proteins, the wild caught fish. I do stay away from red meat. My body does not do well with that. And then carbohydrate sources, I stick to whole grains. I don't do nothing processed. I'm basically sticking to just like all of your vegetables, all of your paleo sources of carbohydrates. I'll do pumpkins, I'll do squashes, I will do white rice like jasmine rice, basmati rice. I will do some quinoa, I'll do potatoes, but I don't do like breads and pastas and gluten, any of that. I stick to a whole food diet. And this is kind of what my diet looks like right now, guys. So every meal, what I like to focus on is a balance, okay? I'm having a carb, a fat, and a protein every meal. Right now, I'm trying to prioritize healing, bringing down inflammation in my body, while providing it enough carbohydrates to fuel my training sessions and enough protein and fats to repair, keep like repairing, building the lean muscle mass, and the protein too, enough for satiety, because you do need that, guys, when you are, I'm not on fat loss right now, but if you guys are on fat loss, always make sure you're getting enough protein for satiety, for insulin levels, and all of that. And the Mediterranean diet, like I said, my protein sources, this is what I'm eating. I'm eating a lot of wild caught fishes and poultry, everything. I pick quality. What you're putting in your body matters. If you're getting things, like, farm raised, it's gonna throw off your omega-3s to omega-6s. If you're getting things grain finished, if you're getting things with hormones, like, you don't know what's in it, put the quality in your body. In terms of, like I said, the carbohydrates, I took you through that. So I'm having a protein, a carb, and then every meal I have healthy fats with it. And this is super important. Don't be afraid if you're fat, guys. Fats actually have the lowest spike on your insulin levels. They're gonna help stabilize you. They're good for absorption of all of your minerals that are in your greens at your meals. And like, you need them. You need them for healthy, for your brain function, all of that. So my fat sources that I do avocados, I do avocado oil, I do more seeds in my diet, like I do flax seeds, chia seeds, I do flax oil. I'm gonna explain why. Flax oil, I do hemp seed oil, I do hemp seeds, but I stick away from nuts just because my body, again, I have some allergies to it. So I do a lot of the oils when it comes to my nuts, and so that I'm getting the omega-3s, and then they're also very easy to digest. I do grass-fed ghee. I do all my coconut products out there, and that's just to name a few healthy fats that I like to utilize. And then my protein sources that I do, I love a company called Wild Planet. They have canned sardines, tuna, mackerel, yellowtail. Everything's wild caught, pressure cooked in the can, BPA free. And what is so amazing is that this canned fish, it is so high because it is in its own fish oil and not replaced with water, guys. So you're getting all of those rich omega-3 fats that I'm talking about, okay? And then I add herbs, spices, my Celtic sea salt to my meals as well. So my number one tip I would say is don't try to do a low carb diet. Don't try to do a high carb diet. When it comes to finding the best diet for you to sustain year round and to have your results year round, find the balance, okay? See what you do best with. Find the good ratio of carbs, fat, and protein to you. I like to do a moderate carbohydrate as well as a moderate protein and a higher fat diet in order to keep my insulin levels down, to fuel me through my training sessions, and right now to prioritize my gut healing. Since I did have so many issues, I have to keep it very easy on the gut. And then all of my meals, when I'm making them, guys, how I pick that carb, fat, and protein, since I am, again, guys, since I did have the digestive issues, and right now I'm kind of just keeping myself in that healing move, I'm keeping things very easy to digest. So I like to cook down my food. I like to use my pressure cooker, my air fryer. I like to use like my blender, but I like warming food. And that's where Ayurveda comes in. So I said I do Mediterranean Ayurveda. And what I mean by that, it's more of just like healthy fats in my diet, higher protein, and then Ayurveda just looks at your different doshas. So I add in different spices like cinnamon, ginger, warming spices to help stimulate the digestive fire, since I do run cool in Ayurveda. And that's something super cool, guys, to check out. So I hope that didn't confuse you too much. We are going to be going into tip number 2, but the whole point of number 1 is just, it's not about low carb, it's not about high carb, it's about finding that good balance of carb, fat, protein each meal. And I feel my best eating a whole food diet and really just cooking my food well so that I don't have that cold roughage in my. Tip number 2, and you guys are gonna think this is crazy, but I don't eat 6 meals a day. And I know you heard that you need 6 meals a day in order to speed up your metabolism and get results. But you know what? You don't. So this is why I actually only eat 2 to 3 meals a day. So someone coming from a past of SIBO, H. pylori, all of that, snacking necessarily isn't technically the best thing. And what I mean by that is you have something called your migrating motor complex, your MMC pathway. And what happens is it takes around 90 minutes to turn on after you eat that meal. And what it's responsible for is just moving everything through and stimulating that colon peristalsis and flushing out that bad bacteria and just keeping everything moving through your system. Now, the problem is it takes around 4 hours to completely cycle through, like 4 to 5 hours. If you are eating and snacking and eating 6 meals a day, that migrating motor complex doesn't have a time to turn on. And what was happening to me was I was, just snacking all the time, having these small meals. And I actually ended up starting to develop severe bloating and gas. And that's when I really started to find out, you know what? Every time I was doing good in my life, I was having around 4 to 5 hours between my meals, having that full digestion, that full break time, having that just complete clear out of everything. And I started incorporating that, and that has been a game changer. A few things that I have noticed with having 4 hours between my meals. So I will typically eat 2 to 3 meals a day depending on the day. All of them are 4 hours apart with no snacking, so that I turn on this migrating motor complex to help with SIBO. If you guys deal with SIBO, do a little bit of research on it. You will find a lot of information. I just want to share my story. And that is the reason for me doing it. But what I noticed was digestion, bloating, all of it, literally, it was like night and day. Constipation was starting to go away. My bowels were regulated, and I set myself a nice routine. So I have the times that I eat throughout the day, and I have those structured. I know what I'm eating at those meals. My body knows. So my body's like, okay, food time, eat. And then I don't even get hungry, guys. I don't even get hungry till my next meal. I make sure I'm doing my electrolytes in between my meals. I'll link the electrolytes that I do below. Really, really important for fasting. And I drink plenty of water, and I get that in between my meals. So that is my tip number 2. If like me coming from past of SIBO, when I started incorporating 4 to 5 hours between my meals instead of eating 6 meals a day, digestion, bloating got better, the migrating motor complex started going. Also, if you're going for fat loss, if you're eating 6 meals a day, every time you put that carbohydrate or that food in your body, you have that insulin response. Your insulin is that fat storing hormone. So if you keep on spiking your insulin throughout the day, that is going to cause your body to not have that full cycle, and you're going to not be utilizing and burning through all your carbohydrates, and instead you're going to be storing them for fat. So having that time between your meals, you're able to really burn through that meal and start dipping into that fat storage to help you with, again, weight loss. So that is my tip number 2. That is something I do, is I don't do 6 meals a day for maintaining a lean physique. I like to do 2 to 3 meals a day, and I like to keep my meals 4 to 5 hours apart. This is something that has helped me with cravings, that has helped me keep my SIBO away, keep my digestion and bloating on point. The last thing that I do to remain lean year-round is intermittent fasting. And this is very individualized to the person, but essentially what intermittent fasting is, it's a period of time where you're not eating food, a fasted state. And you can do this for 12 hours. There's the 16-8. There's like an 18-hour one. And some people even do it for 24 to 36 hours. Not me. I'm not feeling it. So what I have noticed, just like I talked about with the MMC pathway and SIBO, I have noticed that when I fast anywhere from 12 to 16 hours, from my dinner to my breakfast, my body has literally transformed. With cravings have gone away, digestive issues, my bloating, my insulin levels. I used to get like severe cravings for just carbohydrates, and I always wanted a snack and all of this. And once I created this kind of schedule of intermittent fasting for myself, I got into this loop, and I started noticing, you know what? Eating less, having that period of fasting, I have more energy. My muscle mass, because fasting actually helps with your human growth hormone, so HGH, so it helps build that lean muscle mass, that I'm building faster. I don't have cravings. Like, my energy is going through the roof. My blood sugar, I don't feel that from eating 50,000 meals throughout the day. I feel like sustained from one meal to the next meal. And I've noticed that by implementing these 3 things, guys, by implementing number 1, doing my 4 to 5 hours in between the meals to help with the migrating motor complex, not snacking. Number 2 is implementing 12 to 16 hour intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is so dependent on the person. I'm not telling you to go do intermittent fasting, guys. I am saying I have had a lot of benefits with it. I don't do it like fast for like 2-3 days here or there. I do around 12 to 16 hours some days, and I still make sure that I'm getting in the food that I need to reach my goals within that time slot. I am not cutting down on my calories. I am getting what I need between that eating window, as well as finding the good balance, having that carb, fat, and protein at each meal, sticking to more of a whole food, cooked down, high anti-inflammatory. We're not going to the canned food, guys. We're going to the fresh fish, the healthy fats, easy to break down foods, things to nourish our body. We're not, not doing carbs. We're not doing fats. We're giving our body everything it needs, but in those right ratios. And if you guys do need help, I specialize in this. I worked with hundreds of people all around the world. And if you need help, I will put my email below. It's ElizabethAylorFitness@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know what your goals are, and I will reach out to you and we will get started. But I customize all of my macronutrients to the clients. I have some clients that are low carb. I have some clients that are higher carb. It really just depends on where you are in your journey, what you are going through, how your hormones are, how your digestion is, like what our goals are. And from there, that's where I customize everything. So that's why I never say, this is what you should eat or this is this, because I'm sharing my experience with what works best. And I want you guys to know everything that I went through with my stomach, so you don't think, this girl cooks her food really, really good, or she doesn't do dairy, so I can't do dairy. It's because of my allergies, and I want to share with you guys how I eat now and why I do it and what the benefits are, so that you could do your own research and you could figure out, are these things something that may help you as well? Are these, So I just want to share, I'm not telling you to do anything. I am not a doctor. Guys, always talk to your doctor before trying anything out. So I hope you guys found these helpful. I want to know below, what would you guys like me to cover in my next nutrition series? Remember, every Wednesday I have a new workout coming for you guys. Every Sunday I have a new topic. I'm loving the gut health one right now. So please let me know below, what would you like to see in the next video? What on gut health, what on reverse dieting, what on hormones? Would you like more on fasting? Drop it below, all of your questions, guys, and I hope you guys have an incredible day.